GAN 16. Now, I just got into cubing last year. I'm still a bit of a beginner when it comes to these things, but I started off with things like the official Rubik's Cube. This is a sensory cube, and I also have things like the RS3M, GAN 12, and GAN 15. Oh, sorry, the other way around, 12, 15. But there are some things I didn't quite get along with on the GAN 15. Let's jump straight in and unbox this, the brand new GAN 16. So as you can see, this is the packaging it comes in. Now, before I can actually unbox it, I should also point out that it came with a free mat. And since I've been cubing for about 9 months, 10 months now, I thought maybe I should actually buy one of those capacitive timers so I can actually time myself properly. I'll unbox this in a separate video. Got my handy dandy pocket knife, courtesy of Racing Miku. Like an Apple product, if I just drop it out of here, it does that very satisfying slow vacuum drop. It's got this sort of hologram stuff on the box so that it kind of looks like, I don't know, it looks kind of like a Mac screensaver. But the main event itself is the accessory package and the cube. That's really cool the way it animates. It kind of looks like it's moving. Anyway, enough about the box. Inside, it looks like we've got a nice little bag. These bags that came with the previous GAN cubes, I think they were blue. And in here, we also have the accessory tool. I think it's quite similar to previous years, but we should actually test it out on the cube to show you how that works. It's time to open up the cube itself. GAN 16. I like that they actually put it into the box facing you. There's also some accessories in here. I'll show you this in a moment, but these are the magnets. Nice that it hides inside the box. I don't like that these new boxes are just plastic white. I preferred when they were clear because you could actually see the cube. So excited about this because I really enjoyed the 12, but I felt like it was too loud. Actually, it like clicks quite a lot as you turn it around. It still has that feeling of being like a hollow piece of plastic. Compared to other cubes, you feel like they're kind of solid molds of plastic, but the GAN cubes, they really feel like you've got nothing but air. Here goes nothing. Oh, okay. Feels very much like the 15 still. Wow, it actually feels really stable. I think it's supposed to auto align at around, it says 40 degrees. If I give it light flicks, it does turn the rest of the way, but you know, it's kind of stuck like that. All right, the first thing I want to say that I'm very, very happy about is that it is as quiet as the 15, just to demonstrate to you what the 15 feels like and the 12. This is the 12. You really hear all those magnets like clicking into place and then releasing. On the GAN 15 by comparison though, listen to how quiet this is. So it feels much more like just the sound of like lubricant and plastic kind of rubbing against each other. You don't really hear the clicking noises of the magnets. You do sort of hear some of the magnets noise, but it's very, very quiet. I was turning this a lot on the airplane. In that video, I was actually on holiday and I was actually on the plane a few times. And I was actually preferred the 15 at that time because I wanted to have a cube that didn't annoy the people next to me or in the seat in front of me. Like that would be really annoying if a person's like behind you for half an hour spinning around this cube and all you hear is that clicking magnet noise. But I feel like it's very, very discreet on the 15. So I'm very happy to say that on the 16, it feels almost as quiet, if not quieter, but then I am on the medium magnets at the moment. The auto alignment definitely seems to be improving as well as I spend a little time spinning the cube. Even though it still feels nice and like malleable, it doesn't feel like, how to explain it? You know, when you're like turning the cube one way, it doesn't feel like it's kind of falling apart in the other axes. Feels like it just stays in place. I am very happy about that. I think probably the most exciting thing for me is knowing that it doesn't sound louder. Like I was kind of worried, like, you know, everyone loves the 12 and they didn't like the 15 as much, I guess, or they didn't feel it like it was a significant upgrade. But for me, like this, the fact that it's so much quieter than the 12, 15 really was. And in the end, like even though I spent most of the year playing on the 12, in the end I ended up preferring the 15 more. And this is so quiet. I can't stop doing this. It definitely feels more stable. Something about the 15 I felt like when I would use it. It was smooth, but I was kind of not 100% certain that it had retained its like cuboid shape. It just kind of like fell apart a little bit. And you know, I think the pros, they say like it catches. Like you get to about 45 and then you like turn it and then it doesn't really, something about the way that it corner cuts, it would feel like it would just kind of get like stuck. 16, it just feels like it's actually locking itself into the correct shape and returning itself to its cuboid base state. Apparently, you can pull these caps off with just your fingers. Wow, actually, you can. It's much, much much easier than on the 15. On the 15, like they locked it in so that if you did not have the removal tool, you actually just could not remove it and the caps and take the settings, change the settings. But this, fortunately, literally I can do it with my fingers, or oh, that's interesting. And this, again, it's very, very subtle. Really, it's just to make it a little bit simpler. It's just prise it off. Then when you want to actually go and change the settings on here, as you can see, there's got the spacing and the tension. In order to change these two things, you can either use like your nail to change the top setting, but the one in the base, you'll probably need like an actual screw or screwdriver, or basically the tool that comes in here. Sorry, couldn't find it. It's on the inside of the cap on here. So you take the cap off, pull this out, and they call this, I believe it's known as the fire hydrant tool. You can kind of see why. But these 3 prongs on here will allow me to change the top setting, which is set to 3 at the moment. I believe that's the spacing. And then it's got these 2 prongs on the other side here and here that will go a little bit deeper in, and that changes the compression. I think that's how much the Maglev system has been compressed, because if it's really, really compressed, then it's going to like push extra hard against the centers and have all the pieces kind of squished together. There's a ton more settings than before. Before it was like 6 on the top and 6 in the back. Now it's like 6 on top and 12 in the back. It's difficult to see, but that number 1 right there, right above it, you can barely see it, but there's a little like notch coming out of the plastic, and that's how you know where you are. Now that I've changed the tension, you can see that it is much looser. That's what the auto alignment is supposed to look like. I mean, I do like the idea of having very, very light turning, but it might be a little bit too fast. Like I'm coming in for the like double flick, and it's like my second finger doesn't even reach it in time. It's like it's still in motion by the time my second finger gets to it. Get the mat out and actually do a solve. So this is the free mat that I got because I was in the first batch of the GAN 16 being sold, so the early adopter bonus. This should make it much nicer for not damaging the cube when I'm finished with the solve. So let's spin it around. It feels so nice. Wow, this is actually how I wanted a cube to feel. When I actually got my first cubes, I think I always felt like, oh, there's a little bit too much tension in them. I'll have to put like too much effort in to make them spin. But this is, wow, this is unbelievably fast. Okay, now I'm starting to understand why people put like lubrication that actually slows the cube down, like sludge, not sludge, but you know, much thicker stuff. Mind blown, and haven't even done the solve yet. Okay, let's do this quick solve. 3, 2, 1, go. Ultra slow. I take it nice and easy. And split this up. Put mine in corners. I'm doing a lot of turning because I'm not really sure. Wow, it's so fast. Wow, I feel like I'm solving faster than usual. I can't even keep up with myself. What was that? Okay, I don't actually know what my time was on that, but I felt like the cube was racing ahead of me. Like it wanted to spin before I had actually done the flick with my finger. So that's terrifying, but it is nice and quick. That was kind of crazy. It does need some lubrication, but not to speed it up. You know, it needs lubrication just because the plastic is grating against it. So at certain speeds, it's not doing the full auto turn. But when you do spin it around like this, man, apparently the centerpieces now, they actually have little skirts on the inside. They call it like the UFO shape. That's what is like keeping the whole thing on track. It's got tracks and it's got skirts and rails and stuff to hold it in place. It really feels like it's retaining its cube shape no matter how many times I spin it. Wow. I feel like these GAN cubes have a reputation for being fast already, but I put the lube I keep using is called FZ Rush. I quite like it because it does kind of keep the cube nice and speedy, but also properly lubricated so it's not like sandy and papery. I'm going to end it there just before I get too excited about this cube because I'm going to spend some time actually learning about it, and I'm also going to hopefully have some time to unbox this, my GAN timer. What I really want to do is put the work in and actually like track my progress, but in an interesting way, not just like completely silent videos with just, randomly me just timing myself. I want to actually like talk about my progress, getting new hardware, learning new algorithms, finding new videos and watching and learning new concepts. So happy because when I got the GAN 15 last year, I was like excited about it. I knew that some people had some reservations about it, but like I got it and I was like, nah, actually it isn't it isn't really as good as the 12. But over time, I now prefer it to the 12. And now that the 16 is here, this is insane. This is insane. I feel like I'm definitely gonna prefer this to both the 12 and the 15 just because of the like stability. Again, maybe this is normal for other cubes. I realize that other cube makers have made cubes that have got skirts in them. Skirts? UFO, you know what I mean about the skirt on the centerpieces that make them feel more stable. But the fact that this has got the airy, light GAN feel, but it retains that stability that you would expect from a good cube. I'm over the moon. GAN 16. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been really excited, and I hope you are as well. Like whether you're a professional or you're like me, you're just getting into cubing from the very first. Like this is I've only been doing this for like 9 or 10 months now, and yeah, I could have maybe practiced a little harder and maybe made a little more progress by that point. But again, I'm not in a hurry. I'm not like trying to win competitions like in the next few months or anything. I'm taking my time and just enjoying the process. And I encourage you to also, if you're not into cubing yet, jump in and enjoy the process with me. Anyway, I've been NihongoGamer. I'll see you real soon.